My dear students, good morning. This is Deepak and today I shall be taking up the chapter A Letter to God, the very first chapter from your main textbook, First Flight. A Letter to God is written by G.L. Fuentes. My dear students, in the previous class, I already talked about this chapter. I explained the entire chapter in detail. Today, I intend to give you the question and answers of this chapter, the NCERT questions as well as the in-text questions. So, let's start. Short answer type questions. How did the rain change? What happened to Lencho's fields? Answer. The rain changed into hailstones as a strong wind began to blow and huge hailstones began to fall along with the rain. All the crops in Lencho's field got destroyed because of the weather conditions. Question number 2. What were Lencho's feelings when the hail stopped? Answer. Lencho was filled with grief after the hail stopped, as everything was ruined and there was nothing that he could feed his family with. He could see a bleak future for him and his family. Question number 3. Who was Lencho? What were his main problems? Answer. Lencho was a hard-working farmer who lived on the crest of a low hill. Due to the hailstorm, his crops were destroyed, so he needed money to sow his field again and support his family. These were the main problems of Lencho. Question number 4. Give a brief description of the view from Lencho's house. Answer. Lencho's house was situated on the crest of a low hill and it was the only one in the valley. One could easily see the river and the field of ripe corn from there. Question number 5. Why did Lencho compare the raindrops to, and what did Lencho compare the raindrops to and why? This question may be asked in a different way, like why did Lencho say the raindrops were like new coins? Answer. Lencho compared the raindrops to new coins because the crop needed the rain badly and it was the sign of good harvest. Good harvest meant prosperity for Lencho as he needed the money to fulfill his basic needs. Question number 6. How much money did Lencho need? How much did he get? Answer. Lencho got 70 pesos. He was angry at the difference as he needed 100 pesos to sow the crops again and to support his family till the next harvest. Who or what did Lencho have faith in? What did he do? Answer. Lencho had firm faith in God. He believed that God sees everything, even what is deep in one's conscience, and helps everyone in one's problems. He wrote a letter to God demanding him 100 pesos to sow his field again. Question number 8. What did the postmaster do after reading a letter? Answer. The postmaster laughed when he read Lencho's letter, but soon he became serious and was moved by the writer's faith in God. He didn't want to shake Lencho's faith, so he decided to collect money and send it to Lencho on behalf of God. Question number 9. Why does the postmaster send money to Lencho? Why does he sign the letter, God? Answer. The postmaster sends money to Lencho in order to keep Lencho's faith in God alive and firm as he was completely moved by it. When the postmaster reads the letter of Lencho to God, he becomes serious and does not want to shake his faith and decides to answer the letter. He gathers money with the help of his post office employees and friends on behalf of God and signs the letter, God, so that Lencho's faith does not get shaken. Question number 10. Did Lencho try to find out who had sent the money to him? Why or why not? Answer. Lencho did not try to find out who had sent the money to him because he never suspected the presence of God and had complete faith in God. He could not believe that it could be anybody else other than him who would send him the money. His faith in God was so strong that he believed that he had sent money to him for his help in his problems. Why did Lencho not want the money to be sent through mail? Lencho wrote in his second letter, that he received only 70 pesos but he needed 100 pesos. He requested God not to send rest of the money by post since the post office employees were a bunch of crooks and would steal the money. Now, long answer type questions. Question number 1. Who does Lencho have complete faith in? Which sentences in the story tell you this? Answer. Lencho has complete faith in God as he is instructed that God knows everything and helps us in our problems. The few sentences in the story that tell us this are as follows. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, help from God. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. He wrote to God on the envelope, put the letter inside the still troubled went to town. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. It said, God of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest since I need it very much. Question number 2. Who does Lencho think has taken the rest of the money? What is the irony in the situation? Remember that the irony of a situation is an unexpected aspect of it. An ironic situation is strange or amusing because it is the opposite of what is expected. Answer. Lencho thinks that the post office employees have taken the rest of the money as he had demanded 100 pesos from God, and in the letter there were only 70 pesos and God cannot make such a mistake. So he assumes that they have stolen the money. The irony in this situation is that Lencho suspects those people who helped him in his problem and try to keep his faith in God alive. Question number 3. There are two kinds of conflict in the story between humans and nature and between humans themselves. How are these conflicts illustrated? Answer. Conflict between humans and nature. The conflict between humans and nature is illustrated by the destruction of Lencho's crops by the hailstorm, as Lencho was expecting a good rain to have a good harvest, as that was the only hope that he had for his earning. He worked so hard to feed his family, but nature turned violent and destroyed everything. Conflict between humans and humans. The story also illustrated another conflict between humans themselves, as the postmaster, along with his friends and staff, sent Lencho money that Lencho had demanded from God, although they didn't know Lencho. Lencho blamed them for taking away some amount of money. He called them a bunch of crooks. This shows that man does not have faith in other man, thereby giving rise to this conflict. Question number 4. Give a character sketch of Lencho. Answer. Lencho was a simple man and a hard-working farmer. He worked as an ox in his field. Lencho's entire crops were badly destroyed by the hailstorm, so he became very sad as he was worried about his family. He was an optimistic person. Although his only source of living was taken away, he didn't lose hope. He had his last hope in God. He was confident that God would help him in his distress. Lencho was an innocent theist who didn't know that there was no such living person as God who could send him money. He had blind faith in God and sought the solution of his problem from God only. Question number 5. Humanity still exists. This is what we get to know after reading a letter to God in which firm faith in God of a poor farmer and helpfulness of the post office employees are aptly depicted. Thought. Write a paragraph on the values in it in about 100 words. Give the paragraph a suitable title. Answer. Existence of humanity. After reading a letter to God, our faith in humanity gathers strength. We learn from the story that there still are people who help others without any self-interest. The postmaster and the post office employees set an example for every one of us to be kind. Though they all laughed at his letter, they were really moved by the depth of faith Lencho had in God. The way they all decided to help the stranger in his hard times restores our faith in the existence of humanity and motivates us to be a noble and kind person. Question number 6. Sketch the character of the postmaster in the story A Letter to God. Or, how do you like the character of the postmaster in the story A Letter to God? Give reason for your answer. The postmaster was a fat and friendly fellow. He was a sensible human being. He first laughed looking at the letter, which had a strange address, but soon he became serious. He was surprised at the deep faith that Lencho had in God. He wanted his faith not to be shaken. The postmaster himself gave a part of his salary and also requested his employees and a few friends to contribute for charity. He felt happy and satisfied when Lencho received the money. This shows that he was a kind of empathetic person as well. He loved to help others. Question number 7. Describe Lencho's qualities in light of his faith in God. Do you have faith in God like Lencho? Was Lencho's reaction towards post office employees right? Answer. Lencho was a poor farmer who totally depended on the harvest to survive and fulfill basic needs of his family. Once his crops were destroyed due to heavy rainfall and hailstones, and he was afraid to think how his family would survive. He believed that God would help him in this plight. He had firm faith in God. He believed that God would not let him be hungry. Nowadays, faith in God like Lencho is almost impossible and unseen. People are very much aware that nobody is willing to help others without any self-interest. Lencho's reaction towards post office employees was not right or justified, but it was just because of his innocence, as he could not believe that God had done such a mistake. It were only the post office employees who had stolen money, according to him. My dear students, that's all from today's class. I request all of you to listen to this audio content, and if you have any problem or if you have any other questions, please ask me. Thank you for listening to this content. Thank you.